Hi guys, Cryptogasm here for Cryptogasmic Educational Services and Cryptocurrency Investing Facebook group. So we're going to do a market update today to see where we're at with Bitcoin and everything in the alts market. Personally, I'm actually over the moon with the way things are at the moment. I'll buy coins at 6,000 and sell them at 12,000 to buy them back at 6 and sell them at 12. I can do this for the rest of my life. So let's get straight into it. Let me just close this window. These people trying to contact me. So let's get straight into it, right? So just to re-go over everything we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. So we had this huge parabolic trend for 2017. We broke out, as you can see. We stayed above the cloud the whole way, stayed above the moving averages most of the way, and when we tagged the averages, we bounced off them. In November and December, for the first time, we broke the trend. I sold most of my coins where are we? Sorry, hang on. Let me just get rid of that. That's the 2016 trend, actually. So if we come back and we just have a look at the trend that we were following here, 2017, you can see that we pumped through here. My analysis was to sell around here. As it came down, it then continued on. I never chased it. We don't chase anything at Cryptogasmic, and then we waited for it for the retracement. So when you look at it in the big scheme of things, you can see that this is just a huge parabolic run, and if you know how the emotional cycle of the market works, you know that we go from hope to belief to optimism to thrill to absolute euphoria, which is what this is, and then it's complacency, panic, anger, capitulation, and it just bleeds, and then the cycle starts again. So obviously the big questions are, where does the cycle end and where does it start again? So right now, all of the people who bought their coins in sort of this area here, all these people now being washed out. So depending on who you talk to, some people are going to say they made a lot of money, other people are going to say they hate crypto and it's a bubble and it's going to burst. So it's very obvious that if you bought it at 18,000 and today it's dropping like this, you think it's a bubble and you hate crypto. If you bought down here, sold here, bought back down here, sold up here, you love it. So the thing I'm loving about this is it's basically going towards our predictions every time. And it's quite easy to kind of read at the moment if you know exactly what you're doing. So basically, once we started to have this fall down, we started to, step one was to find where the reversal was. We found the reversal at 6.6 down in here. We got a bit of support. So we sent a signal out to buy 6,800. Now at this point, we weren't sure whether we're going to get a fake bounce up and then a bleed all the way down to possibly 3,000. And I'm not going to go back now because I've gone back through my old videos, but in 2014, after the parabolic rise there, we had a slow bleed out for about a year and a half, and that was an 88% retracement. So, and it's well within the realms of a technically sound retracement. So if we just look at a retracement from where this cycle started, roughly, in here to here, we can see that the 88% retracement is going to bring us right back down to about $2,800, which is okay, because if you remember, in September, so this, here we are. Look, so if we go back to just even here, March, April, here, September, the price of a Bitcoin was 3,241. So any fall, even down to here, 4,700, is going to be an acceptable retracement. Things don't just go to the moon, guys. I know we wish that they would, But it never ceases to amaze me. Like when we were 13, 14 grand and it fell through to 10, 9, 8, how badly people were panicking and you know, they couldn't sell quick enough. And that's the time when we should be buying. So when everything's pumping, all I see in the group is, oh, I wish the price was cheaper so I could buy some. And then when they get the cheaper price, they're too scared to buy it. And this is 90% of the people. This is why only 10% of the people win, because they rely on their emotions and they trade on their emotions. So step number one, you can't trade on your emotions, and you need to understand that it's an emotional cycle that will repeat over and over and over again. Now, even out of this little run here from 6, 8 up to 12 grand, everybody forgot about 2 weeks ago how quickly it fell through and panicked. So the more you trade, the more you're going to have to remember these things. So the way I was trading Bitcoin from here was to find the reversal, which we did. We had points of interest, and we bounced off of this, and once we got some confirmation out here, I sent the signal to buy at 6,800 with a stop loss at break even. So that worked out really well. Then we had certain levels we had to break through. We're not going to be back into a bullish pattern until we get above this yellow line and stay there, this trend line here, which is where we're trying to bounce off now. So if we can get back above trading this line and back above this red cloud, then we're going to get back into the bullish momentum. So we really need to hold and start opening and closing above the 13,000 mark. So at the time when we went in, we were watching this in stages. Okay. So what were those stages? Those stages were at the first point here in the bottom of the red cloud. Sorry. We were watching this on a smaller time frame, on the 6 hour. So I was expecting maybe some, if we were going to get resistance in the first level, it was here. So this was the first level I was looking at. Now, all we can do, guys, is take from the market what it wants to give us. We can make sure that we extract. Some days it wants to give us 5%. Some days it wants us to give us 0. Some days it wants to give us 1,000%. So we can only take what the market wants to give. And it really gave some good over the last 2 weeks. So we got in here at 6,800. Once we moved away up into here, we placed a stop loss at the break even. Now we're in a trade that we can't lose. Worst case scenario is we break even. So it kind of gets rid of all the emotion, right? So step one was a few factors that were in line. It can't just be one thing. There's got to be a few things. So number one, we go to the fib. Okay. And first of all, I was looking at this level here. Okay. As the first level that we had to break through right there. If you look, there's some factors of confluence here. This is on the previous cycle where we gained support. It went sideways and we got support on that level. It also is in line with the bottom of the red cloud, and it's also tagging the 50-day moving average here. Okay, so that was kind of like a likely area where this was going to find its first bit of resistance or breakthrough for support. So if we would have hit there and broken down, that's where I would have stopped out. So at that point, we continued on. So what was the next level of support and resistance? So we had some more factors of confluence here. Okay, around about 10,400. So once we broke through here, we got up into this area here between 9.8 and 10.4. A couple of things. This is the fib line is here. Sorry, let me just change this. Yeah. Trying to remember where I took the measurement from. Probably around here. So then again, in the top of the cloud would be the next spot to find resistance, which also is our parabolic trend line. Okay, I was expecting mass resistance here, and we did for a couple of days. You can see, what's that? This is the 6 hour. So for about a day, we held right on this trend line here, around the 9,900. I remember saying that if we broke back down through 9,800, that was the point. So at this point, I've now moved my stop loss up to these bottoms at 7,500. So I'm definitely locking in some profit now. It's a profitable day, and I'm up $1,000 a coin. So you buy 5 coins, you're up 5 grand. So we broke out above the moving average, and then we got to this line, we went sideways, and we broke through that. So this was all very, very bullish. At this point, we broke out of the red cloud. So that was super bullish. We broke the downward trend that we had. I don't know why I've got it there. I think I was just trying to remember. And this is the thing with trading, guys. You know, things change. You've got to constantly check. You know, trading analysis is only valid until it isn't. And as soon as it isn't, then we're out, okay? So the next point of resistance, I remember telling everybody, was going to be, I think I then moved on to the longer term time frame. And the next level I was expecting was here, 11,800, into the bottom of the daily cloud. To really get bullish, we needed to break back up through this daily cloud. You can quite clearly see that even, no matter how far back we go, we traded above the daily cloud the whole way and above the moving averages the whole way, the 50 and the 200, okay? Once we broke down through the averages, once we broke down through the trend lines, that's when it fell really quickly. So we don't panic sell. This is the area now, we're waiting for it to fall and we're looking for a reversal. So 2 things could have happened here. This could have come up and met this fib line or the trend line, and we could have bled right back down. This is why I was watching it in stages, okay? And we managed to break all those stages. So the big one for me was the $11,800 level, which was around here, which would have broken the that downward trend just in here. Okay, I was expecting us to meet resistance in the bottom of the daily cloud, and we got a little bounce there. So that is exactly what's happened. So I took some profits just on the other side of this line in here, so just under 11,000. I took some just over 11,000, and then what I did was I spread my stop losses or my sells across various points, okay, of where I think we'll either find a reversal or we'll get a bounce, trying to take as much profit from this pure trade as we can. So right now, all I'm looking at is making money out of the action of Bitcoin, okay? We need to use the volatility to our advantage rather than panic. We should be excited. As a trader, I'll take this. If that does 100% reversal, I could do that for the rest of my life and live a very happy life. Buy at 6.8, sell at 12, sell some at 10. Buy at 6.8. We can do this all day long, as long as we don't chase the greed and as long as we don't sell the panic, okay? Now, we're still in a situation where this could complete an emotional cycle, which would break this down right to, you know, and I did say this could come up here, it could go like this. Things aren't going to bleed all the way down to 3,000, you know, they're going to go like this in a step ladder fashion. So we've got to make, if we're going to play this on the way down, it's very easy to buy here and sell here. You know, you don't have to be a master trader to do that. And I think a lot of people think that they are when they do that. So what levels are we looking at now to where this could fall to? So I've placed my stops in various places. I took some just here at 11.1. Then I placed some just below this fib line, just at 10,800, in case we fell through there. So now we're kind of at this point where we've got to see where are we going to go to. So I've got some more stops on the rest of the trade that I bought at 6,800 in this area here between 9.8 and 9.6. So if we fall through there, I'm expecting to fall down to this level of 8.8. And if we actually are beginning a new Elliott wave because we could have possibly, we've got to look at all different factors here, guys. Okay, so let's assume that this is the correction and it's done. So then we're going to be looking at something like the A, the B, and the C. So if that's the case and that is the end of the correction, then this could be a brand new wave one. So if that's the case, what are the points we're looking at for this to fall back to? Right. So we're looking at this on the bigger time frame now. I want to come in a little bit. Right, okay. Okay. So I would be expecting this to fall probably into here. So we've got a fib retracement line that sort of comes down to test the top of the red cloud. It gives us a 61.8 retracement on this run up. So the next area that I'm looking to possibly buy, and I need to reconfirm before I do that, would be, so right now you should only be looking at selling or holding, not buying right now. Okay, we bought down here. These are the areas where you sell, take your profits. So I would be looking in this area here to challenge the 9,200, 9,000 area again. If we fall through there, we're then looking at 8,800. Or possibly, I would probably, if we fall through, I think we're going to fall right back to 7.8 in this area, in here. So we don't want to be that person that sort of, the biggest thing I hear from people is, I'll buy the dip. Now, this doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, the dip, right? Obviously, it's a dip when it's going down, but how can you just buy a dip if you don't know exactly what you're doing? Because this is a dip. So what if you buy here and then it continues down to here? Then you're the person that bought it at 10,200 and you've got to have the emotional ability to hold it all the way down to there at a loss of 20%, 30%. So what happens is you start questioning your trade and you think, oh shit, maybe this is going to fall down to 5, I'm going to sell. And then what does it do? It reverses and everybody buys it here. The proper traders buy it here. So you can't just have a strategy of buy the dip, right? I'll give you another example. If you just work on buying the dip, maybe you bought it here, and then you've got to be that person that watches it go up and then all the way down again. All right. So you've got to have it. You've got to have a plan for the trade. Okay. So we had a plan for that reversal as it was falling, and I told everybody as it was falling from here to here fast. If you want to sell, wait. Don't sell as it's plummeting, because there's going to be a point. It could have just bounced back to here. All right. But selling it here is better than selling it here, right? $2,000 difference. So don't give in to your emotions. So my plan from here now is I've got my stop, my final stop, just below this trend line here. If we bounce and we take off again, I'm going to wait until we see what happens at this trend line. I would rather buy back here at 11,400, knowing that we've got parabolic or support that this could continue the parabolic trend, rather than buy it now on a guess. All right. So I'm looking for some support here right now around 10,200. I think it's very important if we're going to continue on. That we sort of hold on to this line here. And if we fall through, 9,800 is going to be my last line of defense for this trade down here. Just we're on this cloud here. If we turn around and start to get support, I might look to buy again there. Or if we fall through, I'm going to be looking to buy again after we break through here. So for now, I'm selling and I'm holding and I'm taking profit off the table. So again, let's watch this at stages. So we need to see whether or not we can open and close above the average here at 10,800. So that 10,800 is still a really, really important area. Okay. We need to see what we do here. If we can climb back and get a candle back in support, or if we fall through. And this is where I'm going to catch my last line of defense here. And then obviously we're going to be looking at tagging this 200-day moving average here. And then if we fall through that, then we could fall through pretty fast. So now the same way on the way up, we were looking at stages. So right now we're taking our profits. And guys, I mean, it's been 10 days. We've gone from $6,800 to $12,000. So even if we get out at 10, right, it's a 50% gain. There's no investments in the world where you make 50% in 10 days, unless you go to a casino and throw all your money on red. Okay? So those are the points that we're looking at now. All right, and I'll do a video update every day so we can look at it. So what we're looking at is a reversal on this trend to see if we can, let's look at the 6 hour. Okay, so we want to try and keep support above here. 10,200, 10,300 in this area here. And then from there we'll make a decision. I've got some stop losses set here to catch if we fall through. And if we fall through, then it's just a matter of waiting for the reversal, and then we buy again. So moving on, the market cap, you know, it's going up and down 100 million a day at the moment. It's crazy, all right? So while we're in this mode, we can't really look at trading the alts. Look, people keep sending me messages with, when am I going to get a signal to buy an alt? How can I send you a signal when it's in green 15% one day and then red minus 10% the next? Look, everything is red. And even when it's green, it's 11%. Tomorrow, that'll be red. Okay? So I think the strategy for now, as I said before, is just we're going to look at some of the top coins. All right? And even the signals I sent out were not the smaller cap coins. They were the bigger coins. So let's go through the coins that we gave as signals over the last 10 days. And you'll quite easily see that we've actually made a lot of money in the last 10 days. If you didn't make money in the last 10 days, you're doing something wrong. And you just need to sort of sit back and rather than panic and go, what am I doing wrong here? And that's what I had to do in the beginning. You know, I was bleeding trades and rather than getting upset and bitter, I had to sort of sit back and think to myself, is this something I want to do long term and something I believe in? Yes. Then I need to learn the rules of the game. And so that's what I went and did. And I worked out why. Why am I losing, right? Why am I this 90%? So then I went and worked out, and I worked really hard to become the 10% and do my due diligence and really take it seriously, guys. It's your money. Take it seriously. You know, learn the trade, learn how to do it. Technical analysis works, and it gives you guidelines. You know, whether it works, doesn't work, it works for me. And what it does is it takes away the emotions. You set your boundaries, you set your parameters, and if it goes above here, and if it breaks, great. If it comes down here, we take the profit. There's no emotions. You have a plan, all right? So I'm staying away from trading a lot of the altcoins. I mean, look, it's just red, 13, 10. So why waste your money bleeding away on alts and being greedy looking for more when Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, they're all doing the job for us. They're working for us. Okay, if we're going and then wasting those profits on alt trades, we're fighting against ourselves. Let the market do what it's going to do. Okay, so what are we doing here? Let's just finish up on Bitcoin. So we can see we were massively oversold, so it was due for a cool-off, which it's done. And we've hit the floor and flattened out on the 6 hour already. Okay. And the 12 hour is still falling, highly oversold. We got right up here. Okay. Now, that's not to say that we're not just going to do something like this. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to drop all the way to the floor. We could sort of, you know, go like this. Exactly like we did sort of back here and in many other places. So, but for now, it's cooling off. And the market moves like a step ladder, guys. You can see, look, it goes up, it comes down, it goes up. But the trend of the whole thing is moving up, okay? On the daily, the MACD is just getting going. The 3-day has turned and we need it to cross averages. All right, so we're still in that phase of sorting out the right-hand side of the cycle. But my analysis on, and if we look at the daily here, but look at the 3 daily, it's still looking really strong, and the weekly's just crossed. Okay, so this is giving me positive signs, but like I said, I can't just look at one indicator and go, okay, that's it. We have to look at lots of different areas, which is why I look at the cloud, I look at the volume, I look at trend lines, I check out a little bit of news. And, you know, so this time it's India, not China, saying that they're going to ban cryptocurrency and they're going to put anybody in jail. What's really funny is that, you know, for everything that America is doing to scare people off, the #1 company in America that has the most patents for blockchain technology is the Bank of America, guys. What does that tell you, right? I've just returned from the Acapulco event with the Dollar Vigilante, and Roger Beer was there, and lots of different people. And you know, the sentiment was quite. It was running the same through everybody. If governments wanted to crash this market, they could do it within a week. They could get together, put their money together, buy every coin in the book, rise it so high, crash the arse out of it, boom. They could do that, but they don't want to do that. There's 3 things that the government, in particular American government, want. They want Americans to be in debt to the banks. They want them to be unwell and sick so they can keep their pharmaceutical businesses running. And they want them to be scared. Fear. Constantly. But I think people are waking up to the bullshit. You know, I spoke to a lot of reporters, a lot of... I've gone off subject here a little bit, but, you know, just one small thing. At the convention, there was one speaker who was due to talk, and he was arrested at Mexico City Airport, coming in from Ecuador. He's from England. They held him. They took him back. He was on the FBI's most wanted list. His crime is he has a cure for cancer. He can reverse Alzheimer's, and he can reverse autism. So instead of putting this guy on a fucking pedestal, right, he's on the most wanted list with, like, back when with Osama bin Laden and all these sort of guys. So it just goes to show you that they want to control and fear. So don't give in to the emotion of fear, guys. Cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. But right now, we're still finding our feet on what we're going to do on this right-hand side of the market. And we could be making, same way we make steps up, we could be making steps down. Look, low, high, lower low, lower high. We've sort of just met here, but it's a lower high. So we got to be careful. We can fall back into a lower low here, somewhere. Okay. I'm not overly convinced that's what's going to happen this time, but we have to be prepared for it, right? So we can see loads of volume popped in, loads of volume popped out. And you've got to remember, guys, there's professional traders out there, so they've got the same kind of levels for me. This is profit. This is a job for them. Okay, so when you see these huge dips like this is a lot of professional traders taking their profits, okay? And the retail traders panic and shit themselves, and then they sell. And then boom, it falls fast, and then we rebuy, and things happen so fast in the crypto world. Okay? So use it to your advantage. Don't give in to the panic and the fear. All right? So let's have a look at some of the other coins that we've done some trades on this week, just to show you that we made a lot of money this week. Ethereum, same kind of thing. I sent out a signal to buy Ethereum. We got it on this reversal here, so we, again, bought back in here. And it was the same kind of thing. We broke out above the trend line. I knew we'd meet resistance here. If you remember me saying between the 900 and the up towards the 1,000 mark on the top of the cloud, and it's exactly what's happened. And now we've just fallen through the 50-day and the 200-day. So we've fallen through those averages now. So again, this is a good time. Take your profit. Okay, you bought in here under 700, 650, and you get out at 850. You've made $200 a coin profit, guys. You've made 30% in 10 days. So we made money there. So, and when I say sell, I don't sell everything. I bought some coins way back at $200 as well. And I take some of them and then I take US dollars sometimes. You've got to hold your money in the best place where value is. So obviously while this was running, Ethereum and Bitcoin was a great place to hold the storage. As it's falling, boom, get it over into US dollars. Okay? So I don't need to go into Ethereum too much. Same kind of thing, right? So we're falling through. I'm probably going to expect this to fall down. Maybe we might come back down and test 750, which again will be a great time to look to buy. So right now we're not looking to buy, we're looking to sell. Now I haven't looked at the indicators yet, but I'm only assuming that. So let's look at this on the daily. So we're only in the bottom of the green cloud now. And so it's the same as Bitcoin. We're in a phase now where we're either going to fall through this area and then look for this trend line, or we're going to turn around and get support. So this is a good place to take some profits off the table. So over the next day, we need to see if this opens and closes below or above. And then we will analyze from there. But I don't sell 100%. I place some stops here, some here, some here. But I keep 50% aside because I bought most of them under $200. Okay? But I take some off and I take some US dollar and then I look to rebuy. So I'm instead of 1 Ethereum, then all of a sudden I got 1.5. Instead of 1.5, then I got 3. The object here is to have as much Ethereum and Bitcoin and other coins as we have for when this goes euphoric. And if people want to pay me $100,000 a coin when it gets there, or $60,000 a coin, they can have every 100 coins or whatever I've got at that time, they can have them. All right. I am not emotionally attached to any of these coins. At the moment, crypto for me, it's a way that we can start to screw the government and the banks. But we need to start using the system to our benefit. Nobody's doing that yet. I had a meeting at the bank this morning. I just went down to get some money out. And she was asking me, the manager said, a lot of people ask me about crypto, but they're scared. And I asked her what they're scared of. And she said, well, they're scared that it doesn't have the safety of a bank. And I find it quite funny. But 95% of the people, that's their main concern with crypto. It doesn't have the government. And they feel safe. So what a fucking brainwash, right? That people believe that the government and the banks are safe. The difference between Bitcoin and a bank is when you put the money in the bank, it's no longer your money. And if you think it's your money, try traveling to a country where they don't want you to go. Try and get your money out. Try and send a wire to somebody on the other side of the world to a country that they don't like. Then you'll soon really, really quickly. A friend of mine has a Wells Fargo account and she's trying to send me some money for some tokens and stuff. 4 weeks because they set a limit of $1,000 and all these sort of limits on her money. But when you've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dashcoin, it's your money. Give it to whoever you want, whatever country you want, whatever color skin they've got. So that's the difference. But it amazes me how people are staying away from crypto because they feel safe with the government and the bank. So it's a real big brainwash, guys. What else do we buy? Litecoin. Okay. We sent out the signals to buy Litecoin. So we've made money there. Okay, we got in here, back under 140. And we're in the same spot. Okay, we're riding at the bottom of the cloud. Are we going to fall through it? I've got my box there ready to take some profit. Or are we going to bounce back? We're right on that trend line now. So we need to see what happens over the next 24 hours. So I suggest you put some stop loss sort of down here, just behind this trend line, maybe around the 190 mark, and just take your profit. It never ceases to amaze me how people are scared to take profit. They buy and then they just want to hold it. Just sell it. And then once it comes down here, buy it again. It really is that simple. So we made a lot of money out of Litecoin the last 10 days. Ripple, I sent out a signal to buy it under here, under about 98 cents. We bought it. It went up, it hit the bottom of the cloud, and it found resistance right on the cloud. So I didn't make any money in Ripple, but I didn't lose any. Right in there, boom. Okay, as soon as we moved away, I instructed everybody to put a stop loss. Once we fell through this moving average, it was all over, okay? And it's fallen right deeper than 100% from here. So we still could be in a real falling pattern for Ripple here, and you've got to be very, very wary of that one. OMG, I think I stopped out of. And XLM. So I'm going to be looking, I'm not holding, the only bad decision that I'm holding at the moment is Bitcoin Gold. And I'm kind of considering getting out at a pretty, well, I say big loss in percentages, but I didn't put a hell of a lot into it. You know, we bought it in here and it was taken off really nicely, and then it followed Bitcoin and it had its run down. But it's struggling, and I'm kind of hoping that, you know, it's found a bottom. But I'm going to give this one a couple more days, and otherwise, I think we're going to have to look to get out of that one. It's just finding too much resistance, and we may get out of that. So that's it, guys. Our Cryptogasmic platform is going to be launched on the 1st of March. So if you're not there, I'll put down below in the comments section where you can join our Telegram chat. There's over 1,000 people in there. You can join us on the cryptocurrency investing Facebook page. But that's it for now, guys. So it's been a great 2 weeks for crypto. I hope you took lots of profits. I'm really excited because I think we're going to get some more opportunities to buy again very, very shortly. Let's play this volatility. Let's play on the emotions of the 90%, and let's make some money. All right, guys, take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.